Okay, welcome back to the Jiu-Jitsu Mindset. My name is Pete Deeley. My partner in crime, Professor Lucas Hubo, is away doing the good work of the Jiu-Jitsu world, but he is certainly caffeinated. So thank you for those of you who have subscribed to Submission Coffee. You can find it at the jujitsumindset.com, and it remains unclassified as a performance-enhancing drug. So you can drink it all you want leading up to the fall competitions. The divine smiles on me every week. I get to talk to extraordinary people, and this week is no exception. I'm super excited to talk to Professor Ira Dauherty. Professor Ira, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I know you got a lot of stories, and we'll figure out. I think if we were in the right circumstance, we were on the beach of Hawaii. I mean, this conversation could go on for a few days if you indulge me. So I'm going to try to, find my way through, cherry pick some of the stories. But you know, getting a chance to briefly understand some of the arc of your life, I am curious. Like, if you had not focused your energy towards jujitsu and disciplined yourself to move in a direction that jujitsu carried you, where would you have applied that energy? Where do you think you might have gone?
So I was a young man when I got into jujitsu, and I've been doing it over half my life now. Uh, at the time, I had a Janny King franchise on the island of Kauai, and I was cleaning grocery store floors and uh doing janitorial services, grocery stores, and restaurants late at night. So I was working a night shift so I could surf during the day. So I had grown up on the North Shore of Kauai, and I had no intentions of being anywhere else in the world. I was like just uh just right there, like my neighborhood. I was completely content being a Kauai boy, just growing up in the island and on the island, and just not doing anything really. I was very content doing that. And
Hmm.
then wow, this came out of left field, and it has become my life, like definitely.
And
So
yeah, so I mean, in that, think jujitsu kind of got brought to you in some dramatic ways, right? I mean,
very dramatic ways, like really the Hurricane Iniki hit Kauai
mm,
at the end of 1992, and a lot of people came there to help rebuild the island. And that's when I was telling you about a young kid from Gracie Humaita. Uh, his name is Bruno Ewald, and I really give him a lot of credit for bringing jujitsu to the island early on. Like we had a real good, strong core of jujitsu people in the 90s. You know, the Brazilian, they love to surf, come to Hawaii, and then so we got a good connection in my neighborhood. And you know, so I seen some of the some of the kids and the younger people getting into it. My good friends, and you know, being somebody who fought a lot over surfing, and just I was constantly getting into fights as a white kid growing up in Hawaii. Uh, that it just came natural, like, oh wow. And it there's something there was something about going to class at night, and learning, spending an hour learning something. It resonated with me,
okay.
and that was it. Like, oh, I had somewhere to be, and something to learn, and something to do to better myself every
Yeah.
evening.
So it gave you a structure to kind of organize your
Yep.
energies in
Yep.
something that had a progression.
Yep.
There, like, tomorrow is different. Yesterday, you weren't as strong as you are today. You understood that meant if I do this again tomorrow, I'll be stronger than I am today. That
Yes.
sort of, yeah. And I think as a young person, some of the advantages, particularly to young men in athletics, is that sense of progression. That, hey, it can feel like you can spin your wheels in life, and however, the body certainly responds to stress, and that when as a as you described yourself as fighting on the beach for surfing. So was your self-image that hey, I'm a tough guy, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And so how did that
definitely.
go as you
I have like be, before cell phones and all that stuff, which all that kind of stuff came later. I had a reputation, and
yeah,
like I felt that I needed to uphold it in the surfing circles. I ran with a tough crowd, and you know, we got to do it. So I was all about it, and then like I w- like I got I'm not a good competitor, but I have competed a lot from day one
yeah,
to push myself. And all those reasons have changed over the existence,
yeah,
over the years. Like, and, I like, I know some of the idea we'll get into like some, of the competition stuff, but
right,
it's like, for me, it's been the tortoise and the hare. Like I'm the tortoise. I've just kept chugging away, chugging along,
yeah,
chugging along. Uh, I'm glad I'm not the type of person that that gets discouraged by great other people being around you. Like I've gotten to be around a lot of great athletes and stuff, and I've never felt like I was a great athlete, but nobody's ever been able to take it away from me. Like I go
right.
out, I do it, and I'm very happy with it. And I think that's one of the things that I try to let other people know. It's not about what. Not everybody needs to be the Gordon Ryan or the Andre Gavals
Right.
or all those guys. You like just because you're not good at jujitsu doesn't mean you can't love it.
That's right. Well, I'm case in point myself.
Yeah,
I can,
yeah.
I can assure you, there's nobody in my gym talking about how great a jiu-jitsu player the old man is. So and in this time of being a young man and you're kind of getting moved in this direction, it sounds like you encountered some celebrity of sorts in terms of your introduction to jiu-jitsu as well. Sounds like the island attracted some of the Gracie family to come up, and you got a chance to meet people that uh,
Oh yeah.
in hindsight, these were celebrities. You just might not have known it at the moment.
Yep. Because of Kai Garcia, I got to be introduced firsthand to Hickson and Hoyer Gracie and then numerous other people. But Hickson was one of the very first ones that would come over and come and hang out and surf with my sensei Kai. And then like that's how I got to meet him.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I got to see right there, and then uh yeah, basically just followed until I got to this point.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Did you get a chance to? How old was Hoxton when you met him?
He was about 14.
Okay, and what was that
Yeah,
meeting like?
that was crazy. So so he was hanging out with Bruce Irons, and Bruce and Andy Irons are two of the most famous people coming out of the surf world that I ever got to be
Okay,
around. And, Andy was a 3-time world champion, and Bruce was the opposite. He was one of the best surfers, but he wasn't really a competition surfer.
okay,
And that these are things that I've learned about competing. Being a good athlete and being a good competitor are two different
yeah,
things.
yes, yes,
And one brother was able to compete and be there, the other brother wasn't able to compete. And not wasn't able to, like, he won all the biggest prestigious contests at one time,
uh-huh.
but there's something to be said about you're like cracking right before the event,
Right,
like how do you hold it together through a whole event? That's
sure.
that's a crazy attribute if you have that.
Yeah,
Like
it's a lot of you have to have a lot of endurance there.
to be in the moment and to weather the storm, and
Yeah,
that was it. And so yeah, Bruce brought, like, I I was known for boxing. I grew up boxing, and
right.
I had long arms and I had fast, and I used to throw a lot of good knockout punches,
Okay,
and that was the difference is, they said, hey, there's this new style of fighting. It's grappling, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. You grab the guy. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to knock guys out,
Right.
And it switched, this guy named Beju, Marcelo Beju, a crazy dude from Rio de Janeiro, big wave surfer. I got the opportunity to meet him. He just recently got his black belt from Hobson Gracie.
Okay.
At the Gracie Academy, and he introduced me to the clinch. And when you're clinched, your boxing becomes nothing.
Right.
So the old school push kick into the clinch really resonated with me.
Right.
Like, having a good punch doesn't necessarily mean anything when they get the clinch.
Without a doubt. So,
yeah. With that experience right there, and then Hoxton riding me like a pony. Like, I had never had anybody wrestle with me like that.
Well, so Hoxton's 14 when you meet him. How old are you at that time?
I'm about 26.
So this is a kid. You're a full grown man at this time, and so I think as they introduce you to him, they're like, I don't think you're going to be able to handle this young.
Oh yeah, my friends were laughing. My friends were like, yeah, try this kid, and basically it was like, my friend brought him over to get some weed. You know what I mean? And I said, dude, I'm not giving you nothing. Your dad's teaching Gracie. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Whoa. And we rolled around and stuff. And what I told him was, this is a crazy story. What I told him was I said, I won't give you none. You know what I mean? Like, but if you go tell your dad that it's okay, I'll give it to you. And so we wrestled around that night. And then the very next day, I was down at Pine Trees Beach in Honolulu and sitting in my truck, and Hicks and Gracie walked up to my truck. And he told me that he appreciated that I didn't give his kid any weed, and that I told him that. And that, he said that, he loved his son, and he wants to be a friend with him and stuff. And if he chooses to do that in his life, that's fine with him. And I was just shell shocked that the kid went and told his dad, and his dad came up and told me that.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my first introduction and my first getting to interact with them,
Sure.
And it's been really cool because the way jiu-jitsu's grown and stuff, I've gotten to interact with the master Hicks and Gracie over the years.
Yeah.
And he's always given me good feedback and stuff because of that, like I thought that I just disappeared into like being anonymous as far as that goes, and it wasn't the case. He recognized me always, and he acknowledged me.
Yeah.
So that was always a great feeling.
I'm without a doubt. Now, did you get to go to Brazil and train with them ever?
I went to Brazil. I didn't come. I went to Brazil in 2003. I didn't get to train with them, but I stayed down there all summer. I ended up. That's another one. I went to Brazil in 2003, and I left my wallet and my cell phone in the airport in Miami.
Oh no!
I arrived in Rio de Janeiro with nothing except for a big, huge board bag full of surfboard stuff.
Yeah,
and everything. I was going to stay down there all summer until the Mundials.
Okay,
I was a blue belt at that time. And basically, I traded a pair of tennis shoes, brand new tennis shoes, to the cab driver. He got me down to Leblon from the airport, and he dropped me off on the corner of a street. And I had a big suitcase and a big, huge board bag full of surfboards.
Right.
And the guy drove off, and I was standing on the corner, downtown Leblon, Rio de Janeiro, standing there and telling myself, what did I just do?
Right.
What did I just do? I don't know it. Like I have not. I have. What did I do?
You got no
And
wallet. You got
I was almost ready to cry.
sure.
Literally, what did I do? And I was standing there for about 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, I heard somebody call my name,
Oh my goodness.
Ira. And I turned around and I looked, and Rodrigo Medeiros was right there. And Master Rodrigo Medeiros was somebody I had met in Hawaii through Kai Garcia.
Okay.
And I had gotten to go train at his school. And he was right there. He seen me and he lived right there. And he went and sold a couple of my surfboards for me, got me an apartment, and I got to stay in Rio the whole summer because of that.
That's amazing. Well,
Oh,
someone's looking out for you, clearly. Well, I know, as you say, you've competed a lot and, and you've had great success as a competitor. And I'm curious your perspective on competition. As you look around at the students in your community, some people that's, as you say, you competed right from the start. So you worked it into your experience. Um, and as somebody who had been fighting in street fights and perhaps boxing matches and whatnot,
what?
it would be less intimidating to you than to somebody that's not familiar to. So when you have your students come in and they're probably all ages and shapes and sizes and come from different backgrounds and experiences, what's your opinion about the role of competition for your students?
I have I have a couple different thoughts on it. I I believe in my abilities to explain to somebody that, guess what, if they're learning and stuff, like I don't consider myself a master, but I've been competing in combat sports so long
Hmm.
and stuff that I believe that if you don't want to compete, you don't need to.
Right.
Like you don't have to. Uh, but I think that you should try it
Yeah,
to check your emotions and your mental state,
I agree.
because I've never been able to be in the moment.
Hmm.
Like I will work so hard up until the tournament, and then I can frazzle out, like, like boom, like the right before self sabotage myself.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And I did some like some body work and mental work about that stuff, like learn, like telling myself that I'm worthy of being a
Mhm.
champion.
Right.
In somewhere in my mindset and where growing up, I didn't have that
Sure.
self believe in myself. All my energy and everything that I ever did was based off of negative energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if people were talking about me and stuff, it was because I was bringing negative energy. Like fighting was always a negative thing.
Sure.
And I I wasn't used to that, believing in myself and doing it for that. And so that was always the challenge for me, to be in the moment and not over not overthink it and stuff.
Right.
Oh, always worrying about because everybody always had a concept that I was already supposed to be a champion the second I tried it.
Right.
Like
Right.
oh, when I was a white belt, because of my reputation, I already had kind of a larger than life reputation in fighting and surfing on a small island.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody was like, "Oh, whoa, this guy," and they expected me to win right out the bat, and I should have been this, and that wasn't the case. Jiu-jitsu's been humbling to me. It's the most
Yeah.
humbling sport and art that there is.
Yeah.
And
We,
so,
yeah. I mean, that's so lovely, right? Because I mean, I think, Professor Lucas and I, when we talk about the kids, when the kids come in, there's some kids come in with the sense that they're really rambunctious. They may be too rambunctious and they need to be kind of calmed down a bit for them to be the most potent version of themselves they could be.
absolute.
And then there's another group of kids that come in and they don't have a sense of their own power, so to speak, and they need to be kind of given the permission and taught to, hey, it's okay to be more aggressive than you are. And so jujitsu seems to be this interesting leveling of, hey, you have to have a certain level of, yang energy that's strong and aggressive in that, but it has to be tempered with the yin energy of like, but it has to be appropriate, and it has to be, all of the things that we might tie to wisdom, right? Like,
Yes.
so it sounds like, as a person who had, for lack of a better term, a lot of success fighting, you know, although you became a great jujitsu competitor, you also, it seems like, found some humility that you wouldn't have found if you were just
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And that's where I tell people you should try and go and compete at least once,
yeah,
and see how it makes you feel.
sure.
I don't push, I don't push students to compete.
Hmm.
Uh, I tell them, guess what? You could go through the whole system of white belt to black belt under me, um, and not ever compete. I don't make it mandatory.
Right.
I think that you're gonna be missing out on your personal growth, because hey, you could go out there, look at the scene, and just freeze and decide you do not like being out there, like,
Yeah.
all it on me. No, like, and then there's people that love that feeling.
Yeah.
They live to be out there. They rise, like over the years, I realized there's athletes that just rise to the occasion at that
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
And then there's guys that just, oh God, what am I doing?
Well, and I think that there's a lot of room in between those two, like, things too. Like, for
Oh,
myself, and when I say I've competed, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not a competitor, and nobody's coming to watch me. I'm just whatever local fun things that I
yeah.
can compete in, I do. So I don't want to misrepresent what I mean when I say competition. But for me, you know, the journey up to the competition is the most important part, because it changes my behavior. I eat differently. I'm, it's helping me become better at who I should be anyway, but it gives me some resistance to, well, am I going to drink beer tonight or not? What, yeah, I need to lose this weight. Well, you're not going to lose weight eating ice cream, and so on and so forth. So it curbs some of my natural tendencies. And then in the competitions I have done, I get nervous right beforehand. I'm like, this was a terrible idea. Why am I doing this? And then once I slap and bump hands, now I'm just in a role, and I am in the moment because I have to be, and my brain takes a break, and I do the best I can. And the outcome is whatever it is. And I've had, outcomes that I've won, I've lost, I've had a few, uh, I've had enough competitions that I know what both things taste like, so to speak. Um, and then at the end, I've never regret having done it. And that's the one thing that when people ask me, well, should I or shouldn't I? I've never come out of a competition going, oh, that was a bad idea to do that. And I'm very careful. I don't have any need to put myself in unsafe situations. So I'm not, if I was 20, I could imagine myself tolerating things where I might be injured because I wanted to win, and I'm not afflicted with that at 55. It's just not.
Hey, it's amazing. It's amazing how the mindset changes.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I go into work the next day, it trumps, having a chance to, maybe wiggle out of something tight. When you think of either all the fights or all the roles or all the competitions, if I just ask you your first instinct, like, hey, this is the most memorable of all those experiences, what comes to mind?
The 2011 Pan Americans,
Tell
brown
me.
belt, Anthony Cole, me and Anthony Cole, like, I won in the finals, and I got promoted to black belt
Uh,
on the podium,
how awesome.
uh, in front of all my peers,
Yeah.
and that was the best moment ever for me. It took me 13 years to get a black belt, and I did 8 Pan Americans before I won one, and so it
That's
was,
awesome.
yeah, it was very, like I said, I won here and there and stuff, but I was never that definitive champion, like somebody, and that's been a real humbling thing, because of what people's expectations were of
Sure.
me when I first started. And then the way, like, I came from as far out on one side of the spectrum like how much violence and how much stuff was in my life and negativity
Right.
to getting involved with this, and then now to being somebody that influences people in a good
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
Like I could have never imagined that it would have changed like this in my life.
Yeah. That's
You
so
know,
lovely. Yeah.
I
Well,
would have never thought that I was going to live to be this age.
yeah. Yeah. It sounds like the beginning of your life. If you hadn't organized yourself around something like jujitsu, probably has a very different, I'd be talking to a very different man right now.
Oh yeah, very, very, very different.
Yeah. When you think about how jujitsu has affected your community, maybe students or people in a similar manner, do you have a student that comes to mind that like, hey, jujitsu impacted this person in a super profound way? I mean, I know you have many, many
Oh
stories.
yeah, so I got a good one for you. The first person who ever hired me to be their teacher.
Oh, all right.
This kid, his name was Trevor Marischek.
Okay.
And he was a young kid in San Clemente. Like basically back in the old days, I was in San Clemente before there was any jujitsu in San Clemente.
Okay.
And then
It's a great surf town too. I mean,
yeah. So we had a little thing that we called the San Clemente Jiu-Jitsu Club in my friend's garage. And I think we started that as I was like, I had a blue belt for 6 years. And so I was like the high end of my blue belt into my purple belt when this was happening. And like, basically I always had visions of me having a school in one of these prime locations, either Hawaii, San Clemente, and then, basically, big dogs always move to the town. And, I was of the thing, like, guess what? I'm not going to try to be somebody when there's a 4th-degree black belt right up the street. That's
right.
legit.
Yeah.
Like a guy, Paulo Gilabel moved to San Clemente and he took me under his wing for a bunch of years,
Wow.
And I was very grateful for that.
And San Clemente is what, like an hour south of Torrance? I mean, you couldn't have been too far from
about
Hicks
that.
and yeah.
Well, yeah, way too far. So I got to train under Clever Luciano for a while. And then Paulo Gilabel teamed up with Saulo Ribeiro, who was teammates with my sensei Kai Garcia.
Okay.
So Saulo, the university and all those guys. So we started factoring in. We were going down there and training with Saulo and stuff, doing that when he was coming up in San Diego.
Well, tell me about Trevor though, because you were going to say like, so yeah, how did it affect? Yeah, yeah.
This kid told me he was a little surf kid and a bartender at a little bar right there. He said, man, I'm gonna go join the Navy and become a Navy SEAL. And I would tease him. I would tell him, oh, you little SEAL pup, this and that. And he did it.
All right.
He became a Navy SEAL, and he joined SEAL. He was part of SEAL Team 6. And
wow.
Basically just last month, I had some stuff happening with like students becoming competitors in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Old students stuff and opening their own school, and just the fallout of that kind of stuff, losing those kind of and this kid hit me up and he said, hey, I just want you to know that you everything that you taught me and stuff saved my life.
Wow.
He had done hand-to-hand combat in Afghanistan and Iraq, basically, and now he has daughters, and he wants to get them in and show them where his lineage comes from. And he basically just told me about how much what I did for him helped sculpt who he became as a warrior,
Yeah. That's amazing.
That was super gratifying.
Oh, yeah, saved this man's life. I mean, that's how much more profound does it get? And I'm sure that like if we really took that what you taught him helped keep him alive, that there's probably, concentric circles around him of people that he taught and those people taught.
That's insane.
Right. So, I mean, your impact, you get to hear it through Trevor, but in this particular instance, it probably, the constellation of people in what the good work you did with him is massive. And there are people being with their wives and husbands and children.
Another great one too was in about about the same year, 2003, I was in Australia, and I did the very first New South Wales Jiu-Jitsu tournament in
Okay.
Manly.
Okay.
There was a kid that from the surf world, his brother, and I was showing him Jiu-Jitsu. And today he owns local BJJ in Sydney.
Okay.
He's a black belt now, and he's because I was showing him that stuff back then. He got the bug, and now he owns a very thriving
Oh, excellent.
couple academies now in
Oh,
Sydney, Australia.
yeah.
Sandy.
You know, before we go, I'm gonna love those stories. I want to ask you one question about the ocean
Yeah.
and jujitsu. Is that did you did your skills as a surfer and sort of understanding the power of waves and to ride the power of waves and your jujitsu style have anything to do with each other? I mean,
They complemented each other.
okay,
And my like surfing and jujitsu are such strenuous, they're so strenuous on the body
sure,
that that it really I think because I was so in tune and so capable in the ocean
right.
that I was able to take a lot of abuse in the
Oh,
beginning,
okay,
like the like getting thrashed in the ocean underneath the wave and stuff like that is it reminded me of being under somebody who's smashing you and
that's
putting
interesting.
through it if you're trying to utilize a guard,
Yeah,
and or when you get or if they pass your guard and you're just stuck under them in a bad position, like they're similar things. Like I know if I can just relax and stuff, I'm gonna come back up to the surface.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so great. It's funny. I was thinking about the direction of force, like being, I'm not I don't surf on a board, but I grew up in the ocean and I was a body surfer. I'm not like a fancy body surfer,
Yeah.
but could ride the waves in to the shore, at least if you're not going to win any contest, but I always had a lot of fun doing that. Um, but that notion of, humility, that notion of like, hey, fighting in this particular moment is going to be counterproductive. Just relax for a second. Like let this wave tumble you and you're actually better off. I've had that experience a lot of times. But it's now that you say that, I hadn't made quite that linkage because I never surfed on a board. And I watch you guys, I'm always amazed at like, okay, there's a ton of body awareness in surfers that just know little tiny tweaks in pressure of where they're sending the boards. This has a lot of impact in where they're going and what they're doing. I feel like,
Really.
that plays out in jiu-jitsu very similarly.
Very, very similar. Like,
Yeah.
and you like, man, if you can't steady your mind long enough to solve the problem, like you're gonna panic.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and like, and panicking is not like when you're smashing somebody and you know that they're getting smashed, and then you feel them panic.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
instead
Yes.
of relaxing into the position and starting to get out of it, oh, they're panicking and they're stiffening up.
Yeah. Making it worse. Right.
That's a bad sign for them.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Same thing with the ocean. You know what I mean? Like when you just need to let it take its course. Like,
Right.
oh, it's gonna wash over you and stuff, and then you can come up and you're in a different situation. And just because you come to the surface doesn't necessarily mean you're safe.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, like getting to the surface is like getting back to your guard
Yes.
in a sense. Like, oh, I still got to get in.
Yeah.
I still got to swim. I still got to do this.
There's a lot of things that can kill you still, without a doubt. And not every, just like, as I've gone along, there were points in my life where if it was the bigger the wave, the better. Like, let's go. But I've come to realize, you know what? Not every big wave needs to be ridden. Someone just dive underneath you. Sometimes you just say, sir, not today. Listen, this was a lot of fun. And I know there's so many, I think, people in your life and your journey here that we could go talk about all these individual experiences a lot, and maybe come back and do this again another time. But I'm really grateful that you spent some time with us.
Well, thank you. Basically, I feel super grateful and super thankful to all of the people
Yeah.
who ever took time out and and taught me and showed me the way, because I'm living a life that I'm very proud of and very
Yes.
happy. I'm a happy person.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have all the things in life that people strive for and stuff. And I'm still very happy.
Yeah.
And I love jujitsu more than anything. And I just if anybody who's ever had a chance to teach me and show me stuff, here's this. I just want them to know that I'm grateful for everything that they did from me.
And where do people train? Where do they find you if they wanted to train with you? Where's your
I'm at Orville Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Check me out, Orville, Northern California.
all right. All right, Orville. Excellent.
Heck
All
yeah.
right. Well, Professor Ira, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
we'll do
Hey,
this again another time,
thanks
man.
for having me, man. Have
It
a good
was
day.
you too.